Hello everyone, my name is Hannah. Welcome to a new video. Today's video is going to be a little bit of a February recap and then a March kind of reset vlog getting into the new month. So February, I didn't read any, I didn't finish any books. I barely read at all, actually. I read 200 pages in my reread of Kingdom of Ash, and I read, I want to say 80 pages, 100 pages of Love and Other Historical Accidents, and that was all I read. And the last time I read was that first full week of February, and then I didn't read anything. I didn't pick up a book and read a single page for the rest of the month. I had a lot of stuff going on and a lot on my mind in the month of February, so I didn't really read anything. Also, I was in a bit of a reading slump because of House of Flame and Shadow, I think, because literally that was the last book that I read, so after that I just haven't finished a book yet. So yeah, I've just had a lot going on in my personal life that prevented me from reading, plus I was in a bit of a reading slump and still am kind of I still haven't read anything. One thing that I did do in February was go to Chicago for the weekend. Really, it was just one day. I went down there with Brandon and a few of our college friends because one of our college friends lives pretty close to Chicago. And so we took the train in and went to Chicago. And I got to meet up with Sahar, which was really awesome because I literally texted her as we were driving down on Friday nights. And I was like, I'm going to be in Chicago tomorrow if you're free, no pressure, because I know that she's super busy with school. And she was like, no, literally, I am coming to see you. So that was really cool. We went to the planetarium, the Adler Planetarium right there in Chicago, and we got to see some cool stuff there.
I don't know what I was expecting. Oh, so here's my collection.
Yep.
I really like that middle one. It's my favorite.
Show me your moon rock that shares your same birthday.
Oh, follow me. So this is my rock twin. Both born July 30th.
July 30th shares Sahar's birthday. She wasn't even born yet, but
I was not alive, but the rock carried on for me.
We could have totally won.
Look how pretty that is.
Sorry.
Menace. And then we made our way to try some Chicago-style deep dish pizza at Lou Malnati's, which is my friend Eric's favorite pizza place. And then we did some other stuff. We went to the Starbucks Reserve, which was really cool because it was 4-story Starbucks. There was a big bakery and stuff. We went to this little hole-in-the-wall bookstore, which was pretty cute, and just had a look around there.
Hey, how did I end up at the same spot as you? And we took completely 180 different ways.
I don't know. We're looking for the same thing, that's how.
I'm gonna find it first.
This is what Sahar said she likes those.
You should get it then.
I said I wanted to read more sci-fi when we were in the planetarium.
Yeah, that's a good one. You read these in the Dune series?
No.
It's supposed to be pretty good. Brandon Sanderson.
Where? Oh,
This book I really want to read.
I actually want to read that one too.
When I was in Barnes & Noble, the guy said that this one is really good.
I haven't read that one either, but I have heard good things about it.
So it's very good.
See, I liked this series.
He honestly talked to me for 4 hours about
and
books.
Nate hated it.
No, that's
You were
why.
in Barnes & Noble for 4 hours?
Well, no, but he talked to me about a book for 4 hours.
Oh.
This is on my list. Everyone at the Barnes & Noble told me I have to read this.
That's good, but
really
Project Hail Mary is better, in my opinion. Project Hail Mary is literally one of the best books I've ever read.
Wrong. They said the opposite.
I mean, The Martian is also really good, though.
Text the group. We need a poll.
They're going to say Project Hail Mary.
Shit. It's a biased poll.
Why is this not out in paperback yet? And then we just walked around for a bit and saw the city sights before we caught our train back to Eric's place. I also did a pretty big book unhaul in February and reorganized my shelves a bit, so if you didn't see that video, I'll leave it linked down below. But yeah, I have this whole huge stack of books that I am trying to sell on my Pango, and I've had several orders go out, so that is pretty cool. But But yeah, other than that, it's just been like a busy month. I've just had a lot going on in my personal life, like I keep saying, and just like a lot of like mental load going on. I did find it pretty hard to make content in February because I wasn't reading, and like the main videos that I make and the ones that I enjoy the most is reading vlogs. And so when I didn't have anything to talk about as far as reading went, I just felt like I didn't have any content to make. So pretty much for the last 2 weeks of February, I didn't vlog at all because like what was there to vlog? I did my unhaul video and that was it. So let me know if like what else you like to see as far as like vlogs and just book content in general, if you're okay with things that aren't constantly bookish, because when I am not reading, I just feel like my content just kind of vanishes. So let me know your thoughts on that and what I should do. But yeah, that is pretty much February. So moving into March now, it is officially March, which means it is officially REALM-A-THON. So I've got my REALM-A-THON merch on here, Judicium Academy, which is like the theme of this round of REALM-A-THON. It's an academy themed REALM-A-THON and it's really, really fun. I am one of the co-hosts for this. I'm on Team Creation. There's 4 different teams that you can choose from, but I would love it if you decide to join. You can join now. You can join really at any time. But yeah, if you haven't joined yet, you can still join. And I would just love it if you would join my team. But like I said, it is a fantasy themed academy setting readathon created by Covers with Cassidy, and she puts so much time and effort into this readathon, and it is so worth it because it's literally my favorite readathon. There's so many different prompts and you can pick like your book can count for different prompts to either boost your team's points or to take points away from other teams, which is pretty cool. I did unfortunately miss the kickoff sprints for like the 1st of March that Cassidy did because I was just not doing great mentally. So I had to miss those, but I'm hoping that I can join some of the other sprints happening later on this month and then also host my own. There's going to be a weekend readathon where like you get extra bonus points for any book that you finish in that weekend, which is coming later, and it's perfect timing because it's literally right at the start of my spring break. So I'm off of work that Friday and then Saturday, Sunday. So I don't have to work on Monday then. So it's just gonna be awesome. I will leave Cassidy's like announcement video for REALM-A-THON where she explains it a lot better than I just did and like goes into detail on it and then talks about all of the prompts. I'll also leave the sign up form down below if you want to sign up. Again, team creation would be great if you would join. For our team, we get extra points if we read a book with a blue cover, and we get extra points if we read a book with an animal on the cover because team creation, obviously that's a team for animal lovers. So if you love animals, join our team. If you hate them, then it's okay if you choose something else. So I have a few book recommendations that I wanted to share with you, and if you're on Team Creation, they have blue covers and they have an animal on them, so we get double the bonus points. So here's my recommendations for you. So I have Hex by Jenny Fagan, so it's obviously blue cover. It's got a crow on it, or a raven. I think it's a crow. It's also super short, so this would be a great one to read during the weekend readathon. It's about 100 pages, and it is following the Galus Duncan witch trial from the late 1500s in Scotland. It's a pretty famous witch trial, very dark though, so definitely check trigger warnings. But I just love this book so much. The writing in it, the like themes in it, it's so powerful. I would just highly recommend it, but again, please check the trigger warnings for this one. I have the first Veronica Speedwell book, A Curious Beginning. It's got butterflies all over it. The cover is obviously blue. This is one of my favorite series of all time. It's just a amazing historical mystery. So even if that's not your thing, I still feel like you would love this because the characters, Veronica and Stoker, are some of the greatest characters I've ever read. Their wit and the way that they talk is just amazing, and the mystery is super fun. Would highly recommend this. I also have Lore Olympus by Rachel Smythe. This is half and half, so half blue, half pink, but I would count it. And it's also got a horse on it. Another good one to pick up during the weekend readathon because it would be really quick. I just like how this story tells like the gods, like the Greek gods, how it shows how petty they truly are in like kind of a modern setting, and also just like the use of color in the artwork is just really cool. I love it. One of my favorite books of all time, Strange the Dreamer, blue book. It's got a moth on the cover. I just love Laini Taylor's writing, and I just think it's a really good story. Would always recommend this one. I also have Alone with You in the Ether by Olivia Blake. blue cover and it's got like these glitched out bees on it. Again, the writing is really good. Still, I would check the trigger warnings on this one. It deals a lot with mental health, but I love the writing and I kind of want to reread this one. So maybe I'll reread this one. And then I have Migrations by Charlotte McConaughey. I feel like this one is one that people probably haven't heard of. You maybe have heard of all of the other ones, but this is such a good book. I got recommended this from my friend Ashley over at Ashley's Little Library. So it's got these birds here. These are Arctic terns. They're very important to the story because the main character is like following the migration patterns of Arctic terns. And I don't know, it's just such a fascinating book. And I know that it's like, you're like, okay, that sounds like a really nerdy thing, but the story in it is so good. This is another one where I'm like, should I read this? Should I reread this one? I might. It's just really, really good. And I just loved how Charlotte McConaughey writes and how she tells this story and how she talks about Arctic terns. I don't know. I just really like this one. So yeah, those are some of my recommendations, especially if you're on team creation, because it's a blue book with animals on the cover, so it's bonus points. Other than those few that I'm like, maybe I should just reread those, I do still want to read the books that I started in February. So I want to finish my reread of Kingdom of Ash. Like I said, I am about 200 pages in, so I still have quite a ways to go, but I'm listening to the audiobook as I follow along and annotating in it. The annotation is what takes like longer for me to read it, because otherwise if I listen to just the audiobook, I could read this much more quickly. But I do want to read that one. It would count too because it's got a stag on the cover. Not blue, but I would still get bonus points for the animal. And then Love and Other Historical Accidents, which is a Dramini fanfic where they end up going back in time. So it's a bit of a historical romance, but like misplaced in time. So they're like modern, but they had gotten put back 200 years in the past. So that's pretty fun. And I'm really enjoying this. This was our like buddy read for our fanfic club, like with Melvine's Fix. She made us this copy and I just, like I said, I was supposed to read it in February and I did not get the chance to finish it. So I'd really like to finish this early on in March so that I can talk to her about it and talk to the others. I mean, I'm sure that they've all finished it by now and had their discussion, but would love to finish that. I also want to get to Bride by Ali Hazelwood, which is her newest release. It's her first paranormal romance, which I'm very excited about. Has an animal on the cover, so I would get bonus points for that. And I love Ali Hazelwood. I have loved all of her novels that she's published, and I did love some of her novellas. There was one that I really didn't enjoy, but that was the only thing, so we don't talk about that. But I've given all of her novels 5 stars, so I have high expectations for this one. And then I've also been really wanting to do a reread of Anxious People by Frederick Bachman. This is one of my favorite books of all time, and I've just been thinking about it a lot lately, so I just feel like I kind of want to reread this one again early on in the month, because when you're in a reading slump, you really want to just go with what your brain wants and what your mood wants, and that's what my brain wants right now. So I might end up actually starting this later today. I just love this book so much. If you haven't read it yet, I would highly recommend it. I can't believe I didn't talk about 2 of my most anticipated releases that are coming out in March. So I'm gonna also add those, plus I have a reread that I need to do. So, you know, we're gonna see if I can get to those as well, with the fact that I haven't read anything in a month. I'm so ambitious, but also like so delusional. So first that's coming out is A Grave Robbery by Deanna Raybourn, which is the newest installment in the Veronica Speedwell series. I will be picking that one up. That's like a non-negotiable for me. I don't know if I'm gonna buy a physical copy though, because it comes out in hardcover and I have the whole series in paperback and I love the audiobooks for them. So I might just get the audiobook and listen to the audiobook, and that's how I read it. And then whenever the paperback comes out, I'll get the paperback. So there's that one. And then also Empire of the Damned, which Empire of the Vampire is one of my favorite books of all time. It's one of the best books that I've ever read. I wanted to reread it so that I can go into Empire of the Damned with the story fresh in my mind. I'm very excited for that one. I don't know if I'll be able to get to it in March. I really hope that I can, but I need to reread Empire of the Vampire first. So they're very thick, chunky books, so we'll see how it goes. But I can't believe I forgot to mention those. I'm very excited for those books. So I'm adding those to the tentative TBR. We'll see if I can get to them. But yeah, back to the video. So yeah, those are all of my reading plans for March. Ideally, I would get out of this reading slump, be able to read all of those books that I just said, and then more. but we're gonna see how the month goes. However, I will say that I am looking forward to joining in some of the reading sprints and hosting my own, so I hope that you will look out for those. I'll be sharing any reading sprints that the other hosts are doing, like in my community tab and all of that, so make sure that you're subscribed so you see those, but then also make sure you're subscribed to all of the other hosts so you don't miss anything this month. So now I think I'm going to go plan the month of March in my planner. I have this spread, which I really ended up liking for the last week of February and the first few days of March, which is like a butterfly fairy theme. But I think I'm going to do something a little different for March because I find myself on Sundays when I have to plan the next week, like scrambling to try to plan and like decorate it and look all cute and stuff. So I think I'm going to do the monthly spread, and then I think I'm going to do all of the weekly spreads all at once. I might change my mind literally in the middle of that, but that's what I'm going to try to do. So we shall see. But yeah, let's go plan for March. Alright, so that is going to be it for this reset vlog and monthly recap, I guess. I don't know what you want to call it. Just kind of catching you up on what's been going on lately and what is to come. So again, I hope that you will join us for REALM-A-THON if you haven't already. Join Team Creation. I would love to have you. And don't forget to check out all of the other host channels down below, especially Cassidy, since she is the creator of this readathon. And thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!